Hello, thank you everyone for joining. Looks like we can get started. We have a lot of people that have joined in today, so thank you. First off, my name is Carrie Kester. I'm a marketing analyst here at Tavant. A little bit of a background about Tavant. Tavant is a well-recognized industry brand that helps lenders offer unique lending experiences to their customers, supported by best-in-class technology. We are proud to say that we have enabled 1 in 4 mortgages in the United States. We offer a range of products and services across mortgage industry and are here today to talk about FinDecision. So today we have Hemant, our Director of FinTech Products. He's going to talk about FinDecision, which is a multi-AUS and underwriting automation platform, which integrates across different LOS and POS. Also, stay tuned because at the end, we will be giving one lucky viewer an iPhone 13. So make sure you stay till the end. So with that, Hemant, if you would like to get started.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining this Tavant FinDecision webinar. Before I start, a quick introduction about myself. My name is Hemant Kumar Jambulingam. I'm a product manager with Tavant. Been with Tavant close to 6+ years now. All those times I've been building niche products and solution across customer success, customer retention, customer management, and customer management. Today, we are going to talk about one of the middle office innovation product, what we have built at Tavant. It's FinDecision, Tavant FinDecision. For this webinar, I'm going to give a complete overview, understanding on Tavant FinDecision product. I'll be using a presentation deck so that everyone in this webinar will be able to understand what is this product. And then I will do a demonstration so that you will be able to see the complete product capability and the feature functionality. Throughout this webinar, if you have any questions, please feel free to put this on the chat so that by the end of this session, I'll be able to address all your questions. With that, let's get started to the actual demonstration and presentation. Let me go ahead and share my screen. You should be able to see the FinDecision presentation deck. Carrie, just to confirm, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, everything looks great.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll get started. Okay, so Tavant FinDecision. FinDecision is the first of its kind product which is going to bring you optimization, innovation in your middle office and origination. This product has been available in the market close to 18 months now, and there are 30+ customers who are already using this product. This is an API agnostic service product which can be invoked across any LOS or any POS. With that, let's get started with the product overview. I want to start with a business case overview so that everyone in this audience is able to connect, understand where exactly FinDecision is going to help you and what is the optimization and benefit. So first use case is anyone who is originating the loan, one of the major concern is how do I reduce my processing time and origination cost, right? Anyone who is doing the business. And the second use case, what I want to cover is how do I bring operational fungibility? How do I get an insight into my portfolio? What is the best option I have and how I can do my capital market execution, right? And the third one is how do I bring operational efficiency, right? When you are submitting the request to AUS or addressing the responses from AUS, selecting the AUS, creating conditions, there are series of steps which is being performed each and every time when you originate the loan. How do we bring operational efficiency for the repeated steps, what you have to follow? Solution, FinDecision is going to give you the ultimate advantage of understanding and bringing efficiency into your process. What we have done with FinDecision is we have created models across income, asset, credit, collateral. All these models will work like a human centric approach where the moment when we run AUS, it will automatically analyze, understand if there are any errors. It will help the user to resolve those errors by guiding them what is the root cause for the errors, and automatically taking the user to the respective fields, whether let it be the LOS or in the POS. And it will review, analyze the AUS findings, and it will give you the best optimal path. And it is going to highlight where you can save time and where you can save your origination cost. The benefit, this will be the first product which will talk about, or which will instantly show you what is the effective savings you're going to gain in terms of time and in terms of dollars. Every product in the market always talks about it's reducing time and reducing the cost, but this will be the first product where instantly it will be displayed black and white. Then it's going to give you a complete operational fungibility analysis across your loan portfolio, right? At any point in time, you'll be able to get the insights, what's happening, where you're getting advantage, where you're getting reps and warrants, how many documentation related findings, all those things are going to be instantly analyzed. And it's going to provide you an operational efficiency where you can completely automate your middle office and origination process. When it is time, you can completely automate to auto run AUS, address those errors, automatically fix those errors, and get the response instantly. Right? Today, there are a lot of products in the market which are a copy of FinDecision, which does just a simple both run AUS, and it will just going to compare very minimalistic information. But FinDecision is the first product which is giving you the complete insight, not only running AUS, resolving the AUS response, and giving you the intelligence of comparing everything side by side, so that your users will be able to take complete advantage on the AUS and then transform your AUS into the next stage of creating conditions. Just for easy demonstration purpose, I have summarized all those things, what I discussed now. So what is FinDecision? FinDecision is going to give you an operational efficiency instantly uplift by reducing your cycle time and reducing your origination cost, not only for you, even for your borrowers, in terms of where we can get appraisal waivers, rep and warrants, and all those things. It's going to compare everything between Fannie and Freddie across findings. It's going to compare who is giving you less documentation, who is asking you for least path of documentation versus fungibility. All findings compared side by side so that you can see your rep and warrant, purchase eligibility, appraisal waivers, everything in one single report. It's going to give you an operational scorecard where you can instantly see which is the best choice you can make, who is asking you for less documentation, and where you can gain operational efficiency. And it's going to transform the moment you select the AUS of choice. It's going to transform and it's going to create conditions the same way your team is today creating conditions. The language, verbiage, structure of creating conditions, everything can be completely automated. And you have the flexibility of auto running FinDecision based on a major milestone in the event or any field level change. All these things can be automated so that you don't have to wait for a user to address all these issues. System will have the intelligence to understand and then automatically perform those tasks. For this demonstration, I'll be using two different use cases. One is from a loan officer perspective, the other one is from an underwriter perspective, so that everyone in this audience will be able to connect and see how you can fine-tune your process. From loan officer perspective, today, as in the current process, you may run both the AUS or you may run one at a time or either of the AUS. When you run AUS, when you get errors or when you face any other issue, you have to read, understand, or take someone's help. With FinDecision, it will make your loan officers to run AUS in simple one single click. Before running AUS, it has intelligence to understand what are all the critical required fields or conditionally required fields. So think about this. This is going to be like your data prep, ensuring that a quality file will be submitted for AUS to get a better, accurate findings. And then in this process, if you're going to get any errors, let's say an underwriting checklist error or a data discrepancy error, FinDecision will automatically transform AUS errors into a user readable message and give you the details. This is the field which is creating an issue or an error, and you have to fix this field, right? Simple transformation, which is going to help your users to understand the errors and get this resolved. Once it is completed, once the AUS is completed, then FinDecision will analyze all the findings between Fannie and Freddie, and then it is going to compare and give you what is the best option, what is saying, who is saying what, where is the least documentation versus fungibility, and how you can save origination cost. From underwriter perspective, I'm going to cover how you can transform findings into condition instantly, whether you want to do an automated manner or you wanted to go by a user choice. You will be able to instantly transform, create condition, lender specific condition, and conditions which are investor specific. And then when you create conditions, when you are doing the subsequent process, FinDecision will automatically compare and analyze and highlight the list of conditions which are duplicate or redundant, so that in your downstream process, if any other user is trying to add conditions, it will instantly flag and show what are all the duplicate conditions. It also has the ability to compare liabilities and show you which are redundant or user which have been manually added liabilities. Now, for easy understanding, I've just broken down the list of features which I'll be covering in the demonstration. The pre-condition or the pre-data validation, where every lender will have the ability to add their additional lender-specific validation along with GSE-specific requirements. You can add those validations, modify those validations, and make it your process-centric. Before it runs AUS, it will ensure that you have a quality data file. And all those things are configurable. Now, once you run, if there are any issues, any error, nothing to worry. FinDecision will automatically transform those errors and give you the respective fields which is creating these errors, or which is the root cause for those errors. Once you fix all those errors, then the system is going to automatically run and get you the report, the FinDecision analysis report. Along with that, you will be able to transform. Every lender will have their ability to configure what are all the type of conditions, structure of conditions, what needs to be created. All those things are completely configured. You can define, categorize how you want to create conditions. Instantly, it will create conditions, compare conditions, so that it will ensure you are not creating any duplicate or redundant conditions. It supports all type of conditions and it's completely configurable. You will have the ability to transform errors, and you will have the ability to automate your downstream process, which I will cover as part of the demonstration. Now, before I get into the demonstration, let me quickly show you a sample on how conditions are getting transformed. On the left-hand side, you can see that it's a standard GSE findings. When you get a finding like this, your user has to, or your underwriter or your processor or loan officer, whatever in your organization, however you define process, has to copy paste or manually create condition to ensure that borrower specific or assets associated to the borrower, or flag it across borrower level. With FinDecision condition management, the system understands each and every finding which comes back from the GSE, and it automatically identifies the variable, and it translates the same way your team in general create condition. You can create condition at the individual borrower level, or you can create condition at the individual asset level. All those things are configuration parameters which will be given to you upfront. With that, let's get into the actual demonstration. Now, before I start, I'm going to use two different use cases. The first use case is to show you how errors are being handled, how it supports your users, and how it supports error handling part. The second use case is there won't be any errors. We will be able to run through complete end-to-end use case. I'll be using a SUSE builder use case so that we can run through Fannie and Freddie, and I will show you the comparison report, product feature capabilities, automation part, and creating conditions. Now, for this demonstration, FinDecision is a complete API-driven approach. You can take this, plug this onto your commercial LOS, POS, homegrown LOS, homegrown POS, whatever of your choice. For today's demonstration, I'll be using ICE Encompass to show you how you can build automation with FinDecision API service and the capabilities. With that, let's get started into the demonstration. I'm going to bring up the okay. So here, the first use case, what we are going to do is how do we handle errors, right? Inside Encompass, we have created a screen called FinDecision. When the user navigates to the FinDecision screen, the very first thing, they're going to see that the form where when the user clicks on submit button or submit to FinDecision, instantly it will validate and it will show you all the required and conditionally required fields. It's a complete API-driven approach. You can configure what are all additional lender-specific fields to be validated so that you can ensure you can avoid any data discrepancies in the downstream process. You can allow the user to submit, or you can add controls to ensure that your user clears all those missing or data discrepancy fields upfront so that you can get a quality AUS response. The user can just double click on it. It will navigate them to the respective field, or they can click on go to that particular field and they will be able to access it. The same representation can be done across any of your LOS and POS. For easy demonstration, I have picked up a loan case where there are a lot of errors to show you how all these things can be upfront detected. This will work on a conventional loan, FHA, VA, any type of agency product. When the user clicks on continue, if the user does not want to fix all these errors, they can just click on continue. And when they submit, we all know that since there are missing fields, you are going to get AUS underwriting checklist errors or data discrepancies errors. Now, if that happens, never mind. FinDecision has mapped all the AUS underwriting checklist errors and discrepancies errors, which you can get from AUS response to a respective fields, which is going to trigger these errors. It's all these fields have been mapped to a MISMO object. You can connect this with any of your AUS or any of your POS or any of your LOS. Now, let me demonstrate a loan where all those things have been cleared and you will be able to run end-to-end. I'm going to change my use case and pick up another loan. This is another loan which we are planning to run now. When the user navigates to the FinDecision screen, the very first thing they will be able to see, if anyone in the process has already run FinDecision, it will show them on the left-hand side what was their DU, LP, reference number, and their status. You can make this investor-specific product like home ready, home possible. You can automatically select those products so that you can compare. You can, if in your process, in your POS, if you run verification of income, verification of assets, all those things will be automatically fetched and populated. Before I submit for FinDecision, let me show you administrative capabilities upfront so that you can configure how you want to run FinDecision. The first configuration is predominantly DU and LP credentials. In the second configuration, you can select whether you want to call this as FinDecision or you want to call it as whatever custom AUS of choice, smart AUS, dual AUS, however you want to call it. You can completely configure the screen, the folder structure where we are going to push those reports and the data. System also has intelligence. It understands what are the accepted value between Fannie and Freddie for a refinance, limited versus no cash out. All those things have been automatically configured for you so that you don't have to change anything. You can configure all those list of errors, how to handle those errors. You can specify for which loan type you want to enable FinDecision, whether automatically or whether a manual submission by the user. Anytime in the process when your user faces any issue or error, it will be automatically tracked. In this case, in this example, Encompass, we track all those things, behavior, so that it is being displayed to their users. You can also control for which user or persona where you want to give access control so that they will be able to instantly convert findings into condition after they run FinDecision. You can apply all those changes back into your respective tracking. Under the AUS tracking, we do have a capability where you can allow your user to always select both the AUS or either of the AUS of choice, right? Maybe during the second run, third run, whatever it is, right? We do have an option. We can run automatically and then pre-select whatever the GSE which you want to prefer, right? You can default the GSE of choice or whatever has been pre-selected by your loan officer the first time. It will also update your AUS tracking, HMDA, everything will be taken care in form of automation where all these screens will be auto-populated by the AUS of choice what you're selecting. Once that is done, it will automatically update your AUS tracking and it can also update your special feature code. Let's say you want to go within Fannie Mae, then it will read those special feature codes and it will automatically update those special feature codes in the respective native screens. We have done the mapping directly inside Encompass. Now, for some lenders, you may have an option where to use a specific credit vendor for issuing credit, reissuing credit. You can use a common user ID password, set this as a credential upfront here so that anyone who submits the request, they will be able to use the common credentials, or every user can have their own user ID password and they can provide at the time of running. The last one is Autofin Decision, where you can control, you can specify, you want to run FinDecision based on an event when your loan data changes. Let's say when you can define these are my 50 fields, if any of my fields get changed, automatically run FinDecision, or if any of my fields get modified, or you can specify which loan type you want to automatically run FinDecision, or you can select which milestone for which you want to automatically run FinDecision. All these things are completely controllable. You can specify whether you want to, when you are running Autofin Decision, whether to use a common credentials for credit or use the upfront user selected credentials for automatically running. You can define this for a specific user group, specific branch, or a specific type of product. Everything is completely configurable within this system, which I'm demonstrating now. You can replicate all those things back into your homegrown LOS or homegrown POS. Now let's go and submit the request for FinDecision. I'm going to click on the Submit FinDecision button. Now it will give the option for the user to select either DULP or just DULP, whatever of their choice. When they select, it will allow them to pick whatever credit vendor of choice. We do support all credit vendors approved between Fannie and Freddie. Those credentials will be pre-populated, and when the user clicks on Submit, then FinDecision will validate what are all the list of required fields needed for Fannie, what are all the list of fields required for Freddie are being available. A good example, if it is a refinance, if you're selected as a limited cash out, for Fannie Mae, it's an accepted value. For Freddie Mac, it is not. System will automatically update, modify, change limited to a cash out, no cash out, then submit the request for Freddie so that you can avoid data discrepancy errors. Once all those things have been updated, then the system will submit the AUS to both Fannie and Freddie at the same time. When it submits, you will be able to see the progress which is happening instantly. System will show you what is happening, whether it is running Fannie, whether it is running Freddie, if there are any data issues, if there are any data errors, all those things will be tracked instantly. In this process, if you face any data discrepancy errors or any AUS errors, FinDecision will automatically extract those errors, read those errors, understand what is the root cause for that error. Maybe a field is missing, or maybe it is not an acceptable value enum for that particular AUS, and it will automatically show you these are all the list of fields, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and map it and show you the field which is the root cause for this AUS error. The user has to simply double click on it. You don't even have to read the error. We have made this transformation very easy for your users. If everything goes well, then system will submit the request to FinDecision, where using the models for income, asset, credit, collateral, FinDecision will analyze each and every finding, and then it is going to give you a comparison report, which is going to be very easy for your users to understand what is happening between Fannie and Freddie, who is asking you for less documentation, who is asking you for, who's giving you rep and warrant, who is giving you purchase eligibility. All the findings will be compared side by side. And then the data and the documents will be pushed back to the system of record, right? Let it be the POS which is calling, or let it be the LOS which is calling. Everything will be pushed back to the system of record. From there, user will be able to access the FinDecision report, and we will also send the original response from Fannie and Freddie. All those things will be pushed back to the system of record. User will be able to view the AUS tracking, the metadata, what time it is run, when it is run, what is the status, all those things will be automatically taken care of. Once the system completes the process, then you will be able to see the real-time comparison report. Now, the comparison report comes in 3 different formats. The report comes as a PDF format, where anywhere you will be able to access, open the PDF. The report also comes as an HTML format, where you can render this on your POS, LOS. And we also give you the whole FinDecision analysis in form of an XML, where you can utilize the data and build additional intelligence on top of it. For example, if there is an appraisal waiver, if any of your user did not notice that and they are about to submit a request for appraisal, then you can create automation, and then you can build intelligence to avoid or missing out on those appraisal waivers. Now, system is completing the process. Once it is done, I'm going to access the report, and I'm going to show you how to view the report. It is saving back all those things back into the system of record. It is updating respective document folders, e-folders, and it is updating your AUS tracking. And it's going to show to your user what is the AUS update, who gave you approval, who gave you between Fannie and Freddie instantly. And then when the user clicks on the report, that's where the report can be opened. Now, for easy demonstration, I'm bringing up a report in a PDF format. You can allow your user to view a report in a PDF format or in a HTML format. It's up to you. We do support both. This is the standard PDF format. You can put your own configuration, your branding, your marketing, all those things can be configured to make it your lender-specific analysis. This is the PDF version of the report. It also comes as the HTML version. Let me show you the HTML version of the report. This is the HTML version of the report, where you can define your logo, your branding, your marketing theme, and all those things. The orientation of the analysis, left-hand side is Fannie, right-hand side is Freddie Mac. Instantly, it will flag and show you whether you received a purchase eligibility, rep and warrant, income, asset, collateral, and appraisal waivers. Who is giving you appraisal waiver, day one certainty, and your AIM related messages. Instant thumbs up, thumbs down. It also comes with a scorecard where it will pick a scoring metrics. Let's say if it is a conventional loan, FHA versus VA, it understands if there is a appraisal waiver, what is your average appraisal cost, what is the time to order appraisal, what is the time to follow up, what is the time to underwrite appraisal. If your income has been 100% verified, and if you're going to use the same income amount, what is the literal savings you're going to gain. All those things will be derived from a matrix which is configurable by the lender. You can configure for conventional loan, FHA, VA, or based on the configuration, system will read and then auto calculate and give you what is the dollar you're going to save, what is the time you're going to save. And you can define a scoring so that you can automate the process in future. That's the scorecard specific for FinDecision. It also analyzes GSE specific findings, and it reads and it will show you how much asset has been verified, what does need to be validated. It also gives you at income level for each and every borrower, what is their type of income and the source of income, and what is the income which has to be verified or already verified through day one certainty. Along with that, it will calculate and show you the loan ratios between Fannie and Freddie, tax return requirements on tax return, each borrower, how many years of tax return is needed, so that you can instantly understand the documentation purpose. It also verifies and show you the months of reserve needed between Fannie and Freddie, representative credit score used between Fannie and Freddie, and the last one, required documents. It compares all the documentation related requirements and flags between Fannie and Freddie. What are all the list of documents you need to submit when you select your investor? It will group, it will classify at application level, income, asset, collateral, at borrower level, applicant level, what are all the list of documents which are needed. You can use this, you can take this from the XML and create a dynamic loan checklist or a document checklist for your submission. You can use it on a retail channel, consumer direct, or on a broker channel. You can make this as your dynamic document checklist when your user submits the record, submits the loan. By this way, you can ask your borrower's loan officer to upfront provide the necessary required documents so that you can save time. That's how you bring efficiency into the process by bringing all this information upfront. Along with this, the system will also compare each and every finding between Fannie and Freddie across income, asset, credit, collateral, and then it will highlight and show you Fannie is saying this, Freddie is saying this. Both are asking for the same condition. Freddie Mac is giving this condition, Fannie Mae is not giving this finding, vice versa. It will classify between each and every category what is the number of findings. Within the findings, how many are notification related, how many are documentation related. Documentation related conditions are the ones where you have to create condition, show the documentation, verify, validate, and satisfy it. For notification, those are like alerts. If anything changes, then that gets transformed into condition. System has intelligence to classify all those things upfront and give you identification to show that for each and every condition level, whether it is a documentation or a notification related. You can go across categories and you will be able to filter and view each and every findings which is being compared between Fannie and Freddie. Now, once your user looks at this report, and then when they make a choice between Fannie and Freddie, it will automatically transform and create conditions the way I explained upfront in the demonstration. It understands what are all the list of findings which are documentation related. It goes through your configuration, what we have defined. It understands which is the variable part, what is the borrower specific, income specific, asset specific, and it will instantly create condition, compare those conditions, and then create those conditions so that you can automatically satisfy those investor specific conditions. You can run FinDecision on a conventional loan, FHA, VA, purchase, refinance, everything will be analyzed instantly in the same way, and the data and the report comes back. You can take the data which has been analyzed between FinDecision. You can use those things for documentation, dynamic checklist, rep and warrants, appraisal waivers, and you can build intelligence in your POS and LOS so that you can bring efficiency into the process upfront. With that, I complete this walkthrough and demonstration. I'll keep the floor open for any questions.
Okay, thank you so much. And we have a few questions from the chat. So the first one that we'll start off with is, does FinDecision provide intelligence to handle AUS data errors and exceptions?
Excellent. Good question, Carrie. Yes. So FinDecision comes with the ability, when you deploy it upfront, you will have all the list of required and conditionally required related fields for Fannie and Freddie pre-packaged. You will be able to handle all those things upfront. It will validate. Along with this, you can add lender-specific validation so that your lender-specific data requirements can be handled upfront anytime in the process whenever you want to trigger. So think about this as like your dynamic data prep. It's going to check all the required fields based on a retail channel specific, consumer direct specific, or broker channel specific. You can do all those validation upfront using FinDecision service. I hope I answered your question.
Okay.
Any other question, Gary?
Yes. So as companies work remotely, does FinD feature accessibility through a portal or individual user license or other?
It does support both. It's a standard configuration. You can define how you want to run. If you want to define based on a lender specific license, or if you are going to use it for an individual user, let's say if it is a direct to consumer or a retail branch based lending, you can define those permissions, and FinDecision has the configuration either to automatically run or trigger when your user submits the request.
Okay.
Okay.
And can company-specific document requirements be included in the documentation list?
Absolutely. You can control that. I can give you an example. Let's say it's a purchase transaction, right? Or a refinance transaction or any specific product. You can control what, along with the investor specific documents which are needed, you can add lender specific documents also. The checklist is completely configurable. Every lender will be able to modify and give their specific verbiage. Let's say you're going to display this to a borrower, right? In a direct facing, borrower facing platform. For borrowers, you need to give a specific verbiage so that they understand what exactly you're looking for. With FinDecision, the dynamic document checklist and conditions are completely configurable, where you can define your lender specific language so that it can be directly displayed to your borrowers and transformed. It's a complete configuration.
Okay, and we'll just do one last question. So are you able to set it so that once the specific AUS has been chosen, that the other AUS is not able to be run?
Absolutely. You can control that. You can define that as a configuration, or you can allow it to a user also. Say, for example, you run for the very, very first time, it automatically ran both, and then you selected either of the one. After a couple of days, there is a change of circumstance. You have a choice. You can just select your previous selected AUS and just run only that AUS, or you can run both the AUS. It's up to the user, or you can control it however you want it. And then see, based on the change, if my AUS approval holds good, or based on the change, am I getting a better offer with the other AUS, which I did not select for the first time? It's totally configurable. You make the decision.
Okay, and we'll do one more question because we have another one that popped up.
Sure.
What is the implementation process and timeline for deployment?
Perfect. So implementation process, it's been very much streamlined. It's a complete SaaS offering. If you are going to invoke FinDecision in your custom POS or LOS, it's an open API. we can turn this on in 2 days. We can just enable your settings and I can give you a sandbox where you can instantly play around, and I can give you a dedicated integration environment where you can connect these services directly in your POS or LOS. If you're using a commercial software like Encompass, your integration has been already pre-packaged. You can go to Elime Marketplace, you can see the review comments on the product. We can deploy this within 3 days. Everything can be deployed as a package. All the pre-validations, all the AUS errors validation, condition, everything will be turned on. Within 3 days, you will be able to start validating and see the benefit what FinDecision can offer you at each individual loan level and at loan portfolio level for your capital market and the secondary team.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think we can get started with the winner of the iPhone 13. So if you'd like to choose a number between 1 and 117.
Okay, let me select 90.
Okay, number 90. That will be Rich Pasanante. So Rich,
congratulations.
Just reach out to hello@tavant.com and we'll make sure that we get you that iPhone 13.
Perfect. And one more thing, folks, we are actually going to, after this webinar, we are going to give a special promotion now. Whomever wants to try this FinDecision service, right? You can do a trial free for 30 days, no commitment. You can just connect, you can just integrate, just run for 30 days, run maybe 100 loans, 200 loans, 500 loans. And then we are going to generate FinDecision portfolio analysis insights for you so that we can show you just with your 100 loans, 200 loans, 500 loans, what is the real benefit which you are gaining, how much insights you are gaining, what is going to be your operational savings for each loan and for your portfolio. And then you can see whether you are getting the benefit or not. So you can try this risk-free 30-day and see what FinDecision can bring uplift into your process in terms of optimization, in terms of process improvement, and you will be able to see how much time you can save, reduce in your cycle time, and how you can reduce your origination cost. Just try for 30 days, and then if you like it, proceed further, or that's fine.
All right, thank you so much. If anybody has any questions, I will put Hemant's contact details in the chat and anyone can reach out to him. We can also be reached at hello@tavant.com for any other questions that you have. Thank you all so much for joining, and I hope you have a lovely day.